Let's talk about measuring your wrist for a cuff bracelet. When you measure for a cuff, it might be tempting to send a bracelet size. Those are frequently called wrist sizes just to be super confusing. And those range generally from about 7 to 8 inches. Those are the most popular ones. Mine would be 7, 7.5 is about a medium. And as you can see, this is 7 inches on me, and there's a lot of room. I can fit a couple of fingers under there, and it's going to move freely on my wrist. There's plenty of room for beads. It fits like a bracelet should fit. What you want to do instead is you want to send a wrist measurement, or you want to use a wrist measurement. And to take your wrist measurement, you actually want to take a snug measurement just behind the wrist bone. So snug means it's not pulling at my skin, it's not tight. And behind the wrist bone is helpful because you don't want to measure on the wrist bone. The wrist bone itself is going to usually be a little bit bigger than your actual wrist size. And if you measure in front of the wrist bone on the wrist, that's where there's a lot of movement. And sometimes the size there can sort of be smaller or larger. You don't really want your cuffs to sit there. It'll be uncomfortable, and over the course of the day, it'll sort of wear on your body. So you want to take it behind the wrist bone. You want it to be snug. Mine here is about 5.75, 5 3/4. And these cuffs are meant for a 6-inch wrist measurement, 6-inch wrist. And so they're a little bit big on me, but you can see that there's still movement. They'd be easy to take on and off, but they're not so big that they're going to fall off. They're not so big that they're going to get snagged on anything. And if they were that half size smaller and made for a 5.75-inch wrist, then they would fit me very nicely. And again, like, you'd have enough room that they wouldn't wear on you. They'd still be really comfortable at the end of the day, but they also wouldn't be so tight that they'd be leaving marks or making you uncomfortable. So that's how we measure for our cuffs. Again, snug measurement behind the wrist bone. If you don't have a measuring tape, you can use like a piece of string or ribbon, or even just a piece of paper that you cut, and you can mark on those and then lay them against a flat ruler. Or if you like, you can also send me a note or find another printable ruler online. There are plenty to be found, and I would be delighted to send one to you. So drop me a line if I can help you at all with your measurements, and thanks so much for listening.